Hello and welcome to yet another episode of News in Focus. I'm Linda Alela Matambo, and as always, like we do, we always tackle issues that affect humanity directly. And of course, today we're going to look at matters on how we can actually counter violence extremism in the country and of course at large. And we also want to talk about anti-radicalization. And with me on set are guests from Kamkunji community, and of course they are community leaders down there. And we all know that Eastleigh, Kamkunji at large, Majengo has been termed the bedrock of of radicalization and all these things. So that is why we've taken the initiative to have their leaders on set. Of course, this will always affect the Young Turks. And now we have leaders of the Young Turks. They're going to tell us how far they are with this fight and how far they are with anti-radicalization. And of course, they will just give us a whole broad picture of everything about Eastleigh. Of course, we have different meets, we have different notions and everything. And they are here to make sure that they at least clear the air. Of course, the guests are Clive Wangudi right there. And of course, we also have Mohammed Ismail right next to me. And they are going to tell us. And we must say that we're grateful to have you guys on set.
Thank you so much.
Tumeshukuru sana. And of course, for the sake of the community at large and, communicating and all that, you will allow us to a bit bend the rules or talk Kiswahili kidogo, some bit of it, and sometimes sharing if need be, yeah?
Yes.
Because we're talking to the kids out there, we're talking to the youths out there, because these are the people who are being affected, or these are the people who are being recruited to radicalization and all that. So Karibu sana once more, and of course, we'll go straight to you guys. Probably you can tell us what you guys do at large, being community leaders and the people that you're dealing with also.
If I may start, Linda, if we to talk about issues of terrorism, radicalization and extremism, particularly in Kamkunji, we must look at the background, because this was not something that we have lived with throughout our lives in Kamkunji. Yeah. So basically, I can pinpoint the year 2012 as the year when Eastleigh became a hellhole. Grenades started exploding everywhere without reason, without explanation. And I and Mohammed Ismail in particular, at that time we were engaged in politics. We were working for the MP for Kamkunji, Yusuf Hassan Abdi. Yeah. And one night while we were with him coming from a mosque, he was attacked, and I and Mohammed Ismail escaped narrowly. And it is since that day that our passion for countering violent extremism started. And this is the time we realized that we were living in an area that had been radicalized. We realized our youth have been recruited into terror organizations. And all of a sudden, and with a forceful impact, the danger of radicalization and extremists hit us in our faces. And that is the time we started realizing that there was a need to engage ourselves, to create some interventions in order to save our community from this danger. Yes.
Okay, before I go to Mohammed, you just mentioned radicalization, and I must say that this is a term that is widely used, but then again, it is poorly defined. Probably you can tell us something small about radicalization before we come to Mohammed.
Radicalization is a stage towards extremism. Somebody who is radicalized, possibly you could be radicalized, yes, but nobody will know because your ideas are dormant within yourself. You have not taken that initiative, that step towards violent extremism. So many people are radicalized. Probably we find that past generations, our fathers believed that beating their wives was the normal thing. It was a show of love. That is radicalization. Okay. Those people were radicalized. Issues of the way we saw post-election violence, that stemmed from radicalization. But the step towards taking action and actually going to kill people, maim people, that is now what we call violent extremism. So many people can be radicalized by actions that seem innocent, and they will not react, and you will not see any changes in their physicality or in their actions, but they are boiling inside, and there is a
They're
threat
waiting to
inside
erupt
there.
and all
Yeah,
that.
I hope that covers it for you.
Yeah, it covers it for me,
Yeah.
of course, and of course for somebody else who did not understand this whole thing well. And Clive said that radicalization is something that it's actually a step to extreme violence and extremism to violence and all that. So my question is, in your bid, in walking around and everything, after you decided to maybe take this step and maybe be ambassador or something and take this initiative to kill this radicalization and kill this extremism and all that, what really were the causes, as in troubleshooting and all that? What could you say were the causes or are the causes of these things?
Thank you. Is the way my brother said first, Clive,
yes.
we were a victim of these terrorist attacks in Italy. Since then, we have decided voluntarily to work with the community, to sensitize them, to create awareness among our youths, especially even our moms, mostly single mothers. The youth mostly affected are those youths who have single parents. If you see the problem they get in life, and mostly in the schools. So what causes is, we here in Kenya, we are bordering Somalia. And Somalia, there was no central government. So it has started, the way I believe, it has started from there in Somalia, just engaging through to Kenya youth, to radicalize them, to just give them their ideology, so to create that tension that happened in Somalia also can happen in Kenya because of the diversity and the religious aspects. So they want to divide us as a Kenyans to fight, and Kenya become a state of loneliness, and they can get that opportunity to that channel. To that channel,
If I may add on what China said, indeed, this issue of terrorism, radicalization and extremism stems due to our close proximity to the lawlessness of the state of Somalia, the lack of governance and all that, and structures. But in Kenya, this philosophy of terrorism found a ready market. It found youth who are not employed. Like in our constituency, Kamkunji, the sub-county, it is a very youthful community, around 80% youth. 80% youth, most of whom have finished Form 4, and they are not engaged in employment. They don't have anything to do. So they just sit around there, what they call bases, percolating and boiling over issues, and nobody is engaging them seriously or engaging them positively. And then there is the issue of historical injustices. People in Kamkunji, which is overwhelmingly Muslim, let me say it has a very big demographic of the Muslim society. It is hard to access identification documents for them. For one reason or another, maybe it's government policy or whatever, but it is hard for this youth to access documents. And failure to access documents leads to lack of identity, leads to lack of employment, and it sets a ground for radicalization and recruitment into such organizations.
Okay, so could we say that probably these people from Somalia saw it as the best place to, you know, to come to first, because I'm assuming it's not even bordering Somalia, you know, it's nowhere close, and they've passed all these other towns, they've passed all these other villages, and we hear it's so much at, you know, at Isili and all that. And sometimes sometimes back, there are people who were saying that most probably it's not from Isili, this is just hearsays and this is just stories from people and all that, trying to, you know, do a lot of things, propaganda and all that. Now that you guys are here, you probably agree that yes, Isili at some bit is a hotbed, is a bedrock of radicalization. That we agree.
Indeed it is. Actually, we cannot deny the fact that these issues have been going on in Isili and, let's say, Pumwani Majengo. We cannot say that the recruiters are not around. We cannot say that the youth in our sub-county are not being recruited and radicalized. Indeed, they are. In fact, because the statistics are outside there. You understand? So many of them have gone to Somalia.
To add on that, you know, these people who are recruiting the youths, they are not marked. You don't know them. You don't know even your brother is among them. So as Isli or Majengo is overpopulated, and there's so many aliens from all over the region, not only Somalia, Ethiopia, Uganda, Congo, Sudan. and it's a business hub. So it attracts many things. That business, all government arms from all aspects of the government, they're there. Even the prison warders, NSIS, ATPU. In fact, Eastleigh is the most guarded area in the country. At the same time, there's loopholes. Because of the color, I don't know, the people how do look like, or because the people, they don't engage with the government, or there's mistrust. So that is the advantage they're talking about. Also, there are those who have been, their families, they from Western countries, the youths there, to rehab them in Kenya, especially in Eastleigh, because when they become gangs there. So they bring that ideology here. So they have created that, they got that space to create or to engage with our youth in Eastleigh who are unemployed, who don't want to go to school because of ABCD or stress of family. Then they engage with them and form gangs. So through that gang group, using drugs, doing crime, even those who sympathizers or those who train for the terrorists or what we call, they can take, they can engage those youths who are in gang groups or using drugs easily to engage them and to change them ideologically.
In fact, Mohammed, there's a new trend that is going on. We are beginning to realize that, you know, terror is a changing thing. It does not stay stagnant. It is metamorphosizing. Right now, we have seen a trend whereby they are trying to recruit former gang members. Gang members. You know, in Eastleigh, we also have gangs. We have the Superpower, the Sitaki Kujuas, gangs of youth of around 14 to 21 years of age who are very ruthless. So this is the focus of the terror recruiters right now.
So okay, now still on that, maybe, I don't know if we should touch on that, but at the same time, I'm glad that you guys, I believe you're Muslim, yeah? And probably you can tell us, it's, you know, terrorism has been associated with the Muslim, you know, religion, the Islam guys and all that. And to some point, I feel that it should not be fair because most probably not all of them are engaging in this. We have the few like of you, for instance, you here, who's against it, who's fighting against it and all that. But then at the end of the day, you know, approaching a person, say approaching someone who's a Christian and telling them that, yes, I'm fighting against this and everything. It's a bit tough being a Muslim and all that.
Could I say something first?
Yes.
I have a unique perspective on this thing because I was born a Christian. I grew up in a Christian family. I went through the rites of the Catholic faith, and I reverted to Islam as an adult, actually. And I believe that all religions are interpretive by nature. So the philosophy of terrorism is based on a false interpretation of what Islam is all about. But if you read the Quran for yourself, if you take the time to research on Islam, there is nowhere in the religion of Islam, in the holy books, the holy scriptures, where terrorism can be justified, This is an issue whereby these people recruit ignorant people, and mainly people who come from the Christian faith and convert to Islam. These are the people that they use, people who don't know, and they act on their passion, on their anger. And there is a danger that we are realizing right now. Many people who are arrested from Islands and taken to court and then forwarded to the Kenyan prisons, when they come out of prison, they profess the religion of Islam. And these people are people who are angry, who have been incarcerated. And there's not a lot that has been done towards trying to engage those people in the prison system. And we are noticing that more and more are coming out professing the religion of Islam. And one time, the slain fiery preacher from the coast, Abu Drogo, said that he is not worried when he is taken to the prison because that's where he gets his main audience. So you wonder about that.
Exactly. Of course, back to you, Mohammed. And yes, like I guess Clever's already answered us a bit, but then again, I'm asking you, you know, in the bid to, you know, fight radicalization and all that, you approach other youths, not necessarily Islam youths alone, not Muslim youths alone. How is it, you know, trying to tell them that, yes, we're fighting this and everything, and already they have this notion that, yes, you know, Al-Shabaab story, terrorism is
Somalis
connected with with Muslims.
To answer you, It is very hard, but initially our Kamkunji, the youths, we engage with them. They know us and they trust us.
Yeah.
So we have some ideologies. We just form some names in Kiswahili or in English. So we use some advertisement like a cohesion champion, bring the youth together. We use some words like ugaidi ni ugaidi, sio dini wala ukabila. So, and as youths from Eastleigh or Kamkunji as a whole, we know each other mostly. And we are neighbored with Madare and other slums areas like City Cotton. Yeah. We engage with them.
So you go to extra miles, not just Kamkunji, not just Eastleigh,
not only Kamkunji.
You know, Linda, many of my friends, I'm very active on social media. And in Eastleigh and Kamkunji, we have community-based social media forums that are very active. And this question is put to me a lot. Why is Islam so violent? Why do you advocate for the killing of innocent people? And I've had a hard time trying to separate myself from those terrorists who kill people and tell them that this is the Islam I believe in and it is peaceful. So I normally end up asking those people, the friends I have on social media, I ask them, you know me personally, you have lived with me personally, you know my character, you know so many Muslim, maybe each of you has about 10 Muslim friends. Tell me about those Muslim friends. How do they behave towards you? How do they react? Are they terrorists? Are they violent? Do they kill? Or are they good people? So make your judgment based on what you see from them, not what you read in the media. And again, Linda, the media is to be blamed.
Yes.
Maybe the nature of sensational...
I don't know whether I should be fighting for the media now and say partly.
We fight for the media's right, but sometimes your reporting goes a long way to foster these beliefs.
But at times we also make it look friendly enough and probably we cover... Sometimes...
Yeah, you will defend the media.
Yes, of course I will, but all the same, yeah.
But I'm saying we still need to reach that maturity level and responsibility level whereby we can separate the issues and define them as they are. Sometimes we project issues and we are not so clear about an issue and then a religion, a faith or a people gets to be blamed just because we did not take a bit more time to define the issue exactly.
Yes, that I take it. Say I plead guilty or something. Well, all the same, back to you, Mohammed, and let's talk about amnesty versus anti-radicalization. I don't know, you mentioned something, Clive mentioned something about, taking these people to court and all that, and sometimes they come out free, in as much as maybe they have ended up in court and all that, and then amnesty comes in. There are people who are bailed out because of an amnesty. There are people who are bailed out because, mercies, and all that. What do you think at some point? Is amnesty really good, or at some point it slows down the move of anti-radicalization?
On amnesty issue, it's really good.
Yes.
But what after the amnesty? You have been given the amnesty, so, and you just come back to the ground, to the village, and nobody follows you up, nobody welcome you even in the family or in the neighborhood because they just realize that you are a member of that group. So you will become, mentally, you feel that you are being neglected by the family or friends, the whole environment. So amnesty is good for those who have been radicalized or who has been subjected to those issues. But let the government and the local
authorities,
maybe the Western, like USAID and those organizations, follow up those youth who have been given amnesty, to come and train them, to give them normal life, to come back to the community and engage with the community and to change their ideology, even and their beliefs.
Okay.
Linda, for me, I must say the component of amnesty, it is intrinsic in the fight against terrorism, because many of these boys who have been recruited and girls now, they are of a very young age, impressionable people. And as with every other demographic in the family unit, the youth are prone to mistakes. And sometimes they go out there, we have seen people who have gone there, and they have found out when they reach to, they are taken there, the passion that drove them to go maybe to Somalia or anything, they find that this is a totally different picture and this is not what they wanted to go for.
Yes.
So they come back in regret and all that. But they cannot be reintegrated into society without amnesty. And they cannot seek forgiveness and change if there is not that aspect of amnesty is missing.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So I think it's a very important issue to have amnesty, but amnesty, just the name being paid leave service to without proper mechanism and structures
And all that.
is in
Of
itself
course, it's going to
futile.
pull the whole thing of
Yes.
anti-radicalization down,
Yes.
yeah?
So maybe I should mention these are components because our community is really, we will be lying if we say that all these efforts just emanate from
The two of you.
the two of you of us. There is a big structure at the grassroots, and we are incapable by ourselves without the support of NGOs and organizations that come in and partner with the communities, educate the community. So basically in Eastleigh and Kamukunji, the work we do is supported by a program called Kenya Tuna Uwezo.
Okay.
Kenya Tuna Uwezo is a program that is implemented by the global communities with other partners and is sponsored by the USAID,
Okay, then
by
I
the
think
American people.
Yeah. We'll come back after break, and of course, you'll tell us what you people, you know, the partners and all that, Kenya Tuna Uwezo, USAID and all that, what you guys do, and maybe the help that you're getting from them, and how convenient it is, and the impacts it's bringing to the society at large. Well, viewer, we are talking about, you know, anti-radicalization. We're talking about countering violence, extremism in the country at large. Actually, it's been an issue of, you know, it's been a worldwide issue, it's been a global issue, and of course, indeed, we need to stop this whole thing. It's been there for years, and the question is, what is it that we're not doing right? So don't you go anywhere, and of course, we'll be right back after this short break.